Can horror and mystery games be cozy? This is a question that has been on my mind for a while because even though I consider these games to be cozy, I know a lot of people who would rather stay away from them at all costs. I recently read an article that talks about this in more detail and which inspired me to make this video. I will link it below. This article talks about the subgenre of dark cozy games, more specifically in the case of the recently released game Dredge, whose creators did not expect cozy gamers to embrace this game. The truth is that cozy games are hard to define, and I think it's because coziness is a feeling and feelings are inherently individual and personal. The way we participate in coziness depends on our personal experience. And at the end of the day, what makes us as individuals feel comforted? Though we can all agree that games like Stardew Valley and Animal Crossing are for the most part comforting to all of us, it is interesting to discuss our taste when it comes to subgenres in cozy games, say with faster gameplay and darker subject. This not only applies to horror and mystery games, but also more competitive games, MMOs, and also first-person shooters. I love darker cozy games, and I wonder if that is tied up to my own experience with the horror and mystery genre being comforting things themselves in my life. Some of my best childhood memories include getting cozied up with my blanket at a sleepover with some of my best friends watching horror films. Do you like darker cozy games? Are you a fan of horror films and mystery films in your life in general? With all that being said, I want to share with you 5 horror and mystery games that I have played and that I consider cozy. And I also want to talk about 2 games that are coming out hopefully this year that also look so good and so cozy. Also, I think it goes without saying, but just in case, I want to let you know that a lot of these games deal with some darker subjects that might be triggering to some people. I would recommend that you go ahead and look up the trigger warnings just so that you keep yourself safe. Okay, let's get started. First, I want to talk about a game that I already mentioned and the whole reason why I decided to make this video, and that is Dredge. This game was released this year and cozy gamers have gone wild about it, including myself. Dredge is a single-player fishing adventure with a sinister undercurrent. You play as a new fisherman in a very mysterious town. You sell your catch, upgrade your boat, and search the depth for long buried secrets. As you get to meet the people in the town and get to learn the waters, you find that there are darker things lurking in the water and realize why some things are better left forgotten. This game balances the darker subjects and slower gameplay perfectly, in my opinion. What I like about this game is that there is a repetitiveness to it with sailing and fishing and completing your tasks, but is also matched with the complete unpredictability of the darker subjects. One thing I like to say about this game is that it's actually enjoyable to fish in this game, which I think is not something that you can say about a lot of other cozy games that have fishing mechanics in them. It also has so many different levels of challenges throughout the game that I think keep it simple while at the same time engaging. This game has a beautiful ambience with incredible music, beautiful graphics, amazing character design. I've been obsessed with it lately and I would definitely recommend it. Next, I want to talk about a game called Return of the Obra Dinn. Along the subject of mysterious ocean games, I thought I'd mention this one. Return of the Obra Dinn is a first-person mystery adventure game based on exploration and logical deduction. On an early October morning, the Obra Dinn that had been presumed to be lost at sea drift into port at Falmouth with damaged sails but completely empty. As an insurance investigator, you find means to get on board and uncover what happened to the ship. What drew me to this game at first was the game design. The entire time you feel like you're in a black and white old-timey movie. As you walk through this beautifully designed game, you uncover clues and get to relive memories. I love that this game is unique and also has an incredible and interesting soundtrack. Very similar to the Dredge games, in this game you are able to take your time and enjoy the beauty of the game itself while you also are uncovering the darker subjects as well. Next, I want to talk about a game called Penko Park. This game is both kind of spooky and kind of adorable. I had to balance out the spooky with a little bit of silly in this list. Think Pokemon Snap or Paparazzi but with a dark twist. In this game, you snap pictures of spooky, cute creatures and explore an abandoned wildlife park. You discover the creature's most impressive poses, collect wildlife details and snapshots in your trusty park guidebook. You uncover the park's history, secrets, and many hidden paths. And you can also enter the spooky realm by unlocking your camera's ghost O-Vision. This game is just so beautiful in a creepy way. All creatures look so odd, but also I would die for them, you know? Anyway, if you're a fan of picture exploration games, maybe this is a good soft launch into more darker subject games. Next is a game called Tangle Tower. This is a puzzle murder mystery game where you explore a strange and twisted mansion, discovering curious clues, interrogate peculiar subjects, and solve unique puzzles. In this game, you get to navigate the entire mansion, from bizarre and eerie gardens to the cold and ominous crime scene at the very top. What drew me to this game was the beautiful animation. The tone and style of this game really reminds me of a Tim Burton movie where even though you're dealing with darker subjects, it is lightened by the storytelling. So interesting and engaging, and it is also completely dubbed, which I really appreciate. And last but not least, I want to talk about Little Nightmares 1 and 2. These are probably the scariest games in this list, and also probably some of my favorite games in this list. I have talked about how much I love these games before. Little Nightmares games are dark and whimsical tales that will confront you with your childhood fears. In the first Little Nightmares, you help six escape a place called the Maw, a vast and mysterious vessel inhabited by corrupted souls looking for their next meal. Little Nightmares 2 is presumed to be the prequel, where you play as Mono, a young boy trapped in a world that has been distorted by a transmission of a distant tower. 6, the girl in the yellow raincoat as his guide. The world of Little Nightmares is so rich that I found myself watching hours and hours of theories online after I was done playing the second game. Though there are some gory scenes in this game, it is all threaded by the whimsical experience of a child and mysterious magic, which I think is what balances the darkness of the game and made it a more cozy and interesting experience for me. Okay, now let's move on to the games that are hopefully being released this year. First is a game called Grave Seasons. Think Stardew Valley but with a dark twist. It's a farming sim where players grow crops, fish, and interact with the local townsfolk, but the twist is that there is a murderer in the town. Figuring out who the murderer is very important, especially because you can end up romancing the person who might be the murderer in this town. I think this is such an interesting, darker take on our regular farming sims, and I can't wait to play this game. I am so excited. And second is a game called The Time I Have Left. This is definitely a darker game, and it's a sci-fi survival horror RPG. It's set in a deserted underground colony. You are the sole survivor and have 6 hours to live. During that time, you have to uncover the facility's secrets and maybe even find a way to escape. I'm really excited for this one because when I saw the trailer, it really reminded me of Stranger Things, the way that it looks and sounds. I love that kind of style, so I'm really excited to dive into that one and see how I like it. And those are all the cozy horror and mystery games that I wanted to share with you today. So, what do you think? Is the nature of cozy games personal? Do you think any game can be cozy? I'm so interested to see what you think, so let me know in the comments. If you made it this far and if you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe. It really does help my channel a lot. And always remember to take care of yourself, have some rest, have some water, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.